So what the heck is a stock buyback? Under 10b-18, it allows companies to buy back their own stock, which sounds like, okay, that's fine. But the risk is that it could be considered manipulative. And for many, many years, you weren't allowed to do it. So for as long as I've been in the business, they've been allowed. They weren't prior to that. They were all illegal because they were thought they're manipulative. And they are, okay? But they had rules to prevent that from being too manipulative. So they put rules on it like, you can't buy in the opening. You can't buy in the last 10 minutes or 30 minutes of the close. You can only buy at a price that's equal to of the last sale or the highest person willing to buy. You couldn't push it up. Like if it's trading at 40, you couldn't buy it at 40.01. You had to wait for it to trade at 40.01 and then you could do it. So they had some of these rules and you couldn't buy more than 25% of the volume on the day, a lot of stuff like that. But just by the pure fact of them out there buying the shares kind of props the stock up. So it is manipulation. So they, why would company buy back their stock? Well, one, it props up the stock, makes them look better. Two, it actually increases the earnings per share, right? So if we have, if earnings are here and our shares are here, we divide earnings divided by the shares. Well, if we get rid of some of these shares, our earnings per share looks better, even though we're not doing any better, it just looks better. And in theory, as a shareholder, by them buying back stock, now if you were a 10% owner, now you become like a 10.1. They say that's the reason, that's a good reason for it, but the effect of that is like negligible. I can't speak. And part of the problem here is that back in 2009, when they bailed out the companies, as soon as they could, all the companies used that extra cash to buy back stock, which wasn't actually what the purpose was. The purpose was to help them run and maybe hire people and all that, but they didn't. They bumped it all into it. Now, I do think there was pushback when they gave back, and I don't know the rules, when they gave money this year during the COVID, 2 years ago. Geez, it was that long ago. 2 or 3 years ago during COVID, they had rules that you had to use a certain amount for employees, not just buying it back. But a lot of companies abuse it. So even if The Hustle, which is a great website to check out, my partner does it, reads it every day. I'm reading it. He put me onto it. They showed that, I think they said in like 2012, 2014, airlines use like 96% of their cash flow to buy back stock. So what happens now when they have a downturn? They're f***ed, right? They're screwed over. So then they have to go to the government for money because they don't have the cash anymore because they decided to prop their own paychecks. Because that's part of the issue too. The execs who make these decisions a lot of their bonuses are tied to earnings per share, which you can just manipulate. So you can't cover everything in a 3-minute video. But a company, when they buy back their stock, they're buying back their common stock to reduce the number of outstanding shares. And they say it's to help the investor, but it's really just to prop up their own company.